Good morning. Thanks for joining us. It's now 7 o'clock here on The Wax. I'm Tracey McCain.
And I'm Caitlin Nuclo. You're watching Eyewitness News here on The Wax. We appreciate that. First, before we get to our top stories, we want to say hello to meteorologist Scott Gagliardi for the details on that first alert forecast. Good morning, Scott.
Good morning, ladies. How are you?
Doing well.
Pretty good.
We were treated with such a beautiful moon this morning, and
yes,
I guess it's
well,
not there anymore.
If you got to
gone.
sleep
Time,
in,
right,
you missed
time.
it, but
Sun sets, the
Yeah,
moon rises,
I know.
the moon rises,
So pretty.
the
How
sun
the
rises.
world
It's
goes.
beautiful this morning. Beautiful. And what we're seeing out there right now, notice this sunrise. Looks good. There's a couple clouds out there from a very big offshore storm. I'll show you that in just a second. 36 degrees, though, in New London. It's cool out there. Live look in Old Saybrook. Same deal. Notice the sunrise, still about another, say, 7 minutes away. Some clouds out there, way off in the distance. We have a first alert, though, for the next couple of hours. Likely the end of the growing season for inland areas with that widespread frost that we forecasted and are seeing come to fruition at this hour. Freeze warnings towards the north. Frost advisories right along the immediate shoreline. As you just saw in New London, it's 36. So, yeah, you can get some frost at that temperature. Notice across our state, the freezing or lower, 32 in Windsor Locks, 30 in Tolland, 31 degrees in Putnam. Zooming out, though, here's that offshore storm. It's about as close as it gets. We don't see any rainfall as much as we could use it. We are in a big deficit. But we'll have the very latest on a big warm-up on the way, and if there's any future shower chances, all that coming up in just a few minutes. Good morning, Kate.
Hey, good morning, Scott. Good morning, everyone. Let's get you a check on those roads if you're heading out the door here this morning. Still following a first alert for you, as we have been over on Channel 3 and the WFSB app for a couple of hours now here this morning. So it came into the traffic center just before 5 o'clock, and here at 7:02, still dealing with some ramp closures in New Haven. But your drive times and speeds, if you're heading out the door, heading to work, bringing the kids to school, approaching that 35-minute mark here, 84 eastbound, not doing too bad. And then almost a 100-minute ride here on 95 southbound, the Parkway also backing up. All right, let's get you back here to those details in New Haven. 95 north and southbound, exit 47, MLK Boulevard West, both ramps are closed. And 91 southbound, the ramp exit 1 to MLK Boulevard West also blocked off here this morning. So you can see that DOT crews are still on scene, making sure that traffic is being detoured. You will need to find an alternate exit if you are traveling here through the New Haven area this morning, trying to get off into the city. And we'll get more details on exactly why this is taking place in a live report from Luke Hydash in just a second. I'm Caitlin Francis with your Connecticut Chevy First Alert Traffic Report, driven by your Connecticut Chevy dealers.
all right, so let's get right to that breaking news in New Haven. That police investigation has shut down Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. As Kate mentioned, this is a really busy area of the city, especially this time of day.
Yeah, our Pinpoint News Tracker showing you exactly where this is happening. Let's get right out to Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Luke Hydash, live in New Haven with what's happening right now.
Good morning. Just in the last 5, 10, 15 minutes or so, a tow truck actually arrived to take this pretty large garbage truck out of here. This is happening on MLK Boulevard. That's what you're looking at now. In the last few minutes, those extra police cars came in, got around that. There are still some state troopers kind of poking around the truck. Earlier, they were inside the cab, looking at the underbelly with flashlights. Now that the sun's come up, that's made looking around a little bit easier. Still unclear exactly what's happening involving that truck there. We saw evidence markers on the ground, some police tape up earlier this morning when we got here about an hour or so ago. In the meantime, plenty of roads in this area are closed. MLK Boulevard is, Church Street. You heard Kate Francis a few minutes ago talking about the off-ramps in this area that are shut down coming off of the highway. So not a good time for all of this to be happening as people are getting up, getting to work, getting to school this morning, especially in this area of downtown New Haven. So be aware of those traffic closures and delays that you may encounter. But it looks like things are clearing up here on MLK Boulevard itself as that garbage truck gets up onto the tow truck to be towed out of here shortly. Again, as far as exactly what happened involving that truck and why all these roads are closed, we're waiting to hear from New Haven Police. Once we do, we'll keep you posted. We're live in New Haven. Luke Hydash, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
All right, thank you, Luke. Just down the road in Hamden, we're working to learn more from police there about an investigation on Dixwell Avenue. Here's a look at what our crews captured in the area of Mather Street just after 11 o'clock last night. Of course, we're working the phones. We'll bring you an update as soon as we get those new details.
And this morning, we're also working to learn whether police have arrested anyone after a wrong-way crash that happened in East Hartford last night.
It all happened around 9 o'clock by exit 56 on I-84. Police say no one was badly hurt, and you should have no issues getting through the area this morning.
But this is the fourth wrong-way crash in our state so far this month, including one in Westbrook last Wednesday night that killed a man.
Well, right now, the State Department of Health is issuing a warning about 2 flu deaths in the state. One of those deaths was a baby.
Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Olivia Schuler has the latest details from health officials and explains why they are warning that folks need to keep themselves safe.
2 people have died. One person was in their 90s. The other person was less than a year old. DPH at this time is not revealing where those 2 people live. The important message here, now is the time to roll up your sleeve and get your flu shot. After doing so, it takes time before you're protected. The CDC says your flu shot usually takes about 2 weeks to provide protection from the virus. Health experts say anyone older than 6 months should be getting their seasonal shot. Dr. Paul Anthony, Assistant Director of Infectious Disease at Hartford Hospital, says the elderly and pregnant women are at the highest risk of getting the flu, but there are some steps you can take to protect others and stop the spread.
Cover your cough if you're sick. Wear a mask when possible, especially if you're indoors with other people, because that will help protect you. Wash your hands. Try to avoid touching your face.
Prior to COVID, the flu and pneumonia were some of the leading causes of death. Dr. Anthony also says that the flu season used to go to about May and April. However, now it far surpasses that. In Hartford, Olivia Schuler, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Well, new details this morning after a child was killed inside of a house fire in Norwich. We've learned the 7-year-old girl was trapped in the home on Summit Street when the fire started on the first floor. Neighbors sprang into action after one of the girl's siblings ran for help.
I got the kids upstairs with my kids so that they were safe, and I was trying to console the mom, but it was just impossible. You can't do anything in that situation.
The girl has still not been identified, but we do know that she went to Norwich Public Schools. Donation drives have already been set up to collect supplies and clothing for the family. You can drop off items anytime at the police station or at the Board of Ed Central office between 8:30 and 4:30. We also have all those details for you on the WFSB app.
We also have an update here this morning about a man now under arrest in connection with a deadly pedestrian crash in Lisbon. Police say William Stonier was driving on Route 12 when he hit a man who was walking on the side of the road late Monday night. They say he kept driving until he hit a telephone pole. Stonier now being held in jail with a bond and charged with driving under the influence and having a gun. We're working to find out the identity of the man who died.
Right now, Plainville police are investigating a bizarre and scary prank where strangers in masks used a hammer to bang on a woman's door in the middle of the night. Take a look at this Ring camera footage. So this all happened at about 3 o'clock on Monday morning. We're told the woman who lives there on Mountain View Drive was startled awake. Imagine waking up to that, and warned others on a local Facebook page. One neighbor said it happened to them too. So now the community is really on edge about this. Of course, we'll get you an update here when we learn more from police.
A Hartford city councilman is facing money laundering and larceny charges this morning. Police arrested him for stealing from the church where he worked.
Alex Thomas is the former director of Children and Family Ministries at South Church. Police say he took more than $14,000, sent it to shell companies that he created to pay himself, and then also used the money on bills, fast food, and cash withdrawals.
We did reach out to Thomas about his arrest. Of course, we'll let you know as soon as we hear back.
Turning now to campaign 2024. Today, Kamala Harris will rally in the crucial state of Wisconsin as Donald Trump gears up to speak at the annual Alfred E. Smith Dinner Gala that benefits charities of the Roman Catholic Archdiocese of New York.
Well, this comes after the vice president campaigned in Philadelphia to try to appeal to Republican women, while the former president tried to win over Hispanic voters in Georgia.
Meanwhile, early voting in Connecticut starts on Monday. It's brand new to our state, so there are some things that you need to know ahead of time.
Channel 3's Roger Susanin at the First Alert desk this morning, breaking it down. Roger, what does everyone need to know?
Yeah, ladies, it's a big change, certainly. Every town will have at least one early voting location open 7 days a week again, starting Monday. But it might not be the polling place that you're used to. So we have posted a guide for you on the WFSB News app. Now, once you figure out your polling place, just head on inside, show the poll workers your ID, then grab a ballot and go to the booth and vote like you normally do. After that, it goes into a lockbox until Election Day, and state leaders say it is 100% safe and secure. They're encouraging anybody who's interested to vote early to do so in a cycle that really includes some pretty tight races.
If someone's busy, if they're working, you get a couple days extra, go out there, vote. I think it's a good idea.
I want people to have the confidence, though, they can vote and vote on their schedule, not necessarily ours.
Again, if you have any question at all about your polling place, you can find the full list right now on the WFSB News app. Live at the First Alert desk, I'm Roger. Suzanne and Tracy, I'll send it over to you.
All right, great information. Thank you, Roger. Our Connecticut campaign conversations continue tonight. As a matter of fact, all week we are hopscotching around the state, hearing from you about the issues that matter most.
Chief Political Reporter Susan Raff and CT Insider's Dan Haar will visit Torrington tonight. They'll be chatting with voters at Bad Dog Brewing Company. So we'll have more coverage on that on Eyewitness News starting at 4.
And with a chilly morning out there, no matter where you are across our state, we're going to see that trend continue even for the next several hours. 30s and 40s out there. 60s, though, by this afternoon. Here's a live look in Middletown. Notice there are some low clouds nearby, but not causing any traffic issues along Route 9. Looks like it's moving along just fine there. Windsor Locks, same deal. Check out that temperature, though. Freezing, 32 degrees, a light breeze out of the northwest at 3. These are temperatures we normally see about a month and a half from now. Notice across our state, 30 from Salisbury through Torrington, over through Tolland. It feels like temperature, though, with a light breeze out there, really says the story. 30 degrees all the way down towards the shoreline, and Groton 29 in Norwich. Looking at those cold temperatures continuing. A big warm-up's on the way, though. Let you know when it comes in and how long it lasts. All that coming up in just a few minutes.